So my next step on this car, 65 Mustang, passenger quarter panel, passenger outer wheelhouse is on. With doing this, since I'm replacing both quarters, it's a good thing to do anyway. 1 quarter, 2 quarters, anything in the back here. You want to make sure everything's lined up. That your outer wheelhouse is lined up good with your quarter panel's lined up good with your door gap. In order to do that, your door gap has to be, your door has to be in the right spot, which means that you should probably put your fender on too and line that up just to be sure before you do any actual welding. In this case, the taillight panel goes over both rear, I think they're taillight extensions, which is this piece right here, and on this specific part it comes on the quarter panel already, so you're not buying this and then fitting it on and then welding it on. At least it's there already. They have these pieces, they're going to come in, they're going to lock in there. I'm using the originals only because I think that they're a better fit than the aftermarket shit. As you can see, there is a little bit of damage on this thing we have to straighten out. In order to get this quarter where I want it, where I know it's going to be, I need to test fit, which I did with the old quarter still on the taillight panel. This is going to come across the back right here. On the bottom, it's going to be welded there. These are for your bumper brackets. Bumper is going to be mounted to this through that taillight panel. So, all right, I got this on. I got this mocked up. Everything's clamped together. I think it's good. Now I need to make sure it's good. So I'm going to put the trunk on. Make sure that my trunk has a good line here, a good gap here, a good gap on the other side. Make sure it follows the front of this taillight panel well. It's going to latch. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to be where it needs to be. So there, now I know everything is going to be right when I start welding that quarter panel on. Get what I'm saying? Always double check. Do whatever you have to do. Because once you weld it on, man, have fun trying to get it back off. Because you're not getting paid for it. See here, we didn't want to go ahead and buy the inner wheel well. It just adds a lot more work, so instead of cutting it out for this little piece, we're just going to come in, notch that out, go ahead, put a piece in, weld it on this, weld it here, weld it to this lip, and then that's good. We'll do a little bit of priming, body work, whatever, done. So now you know it's all good. You come over here, you cut your other quarter panel off, you cut your other wheelhouse off, line it up. I think this is where I need to be. So now I'm going to go ahead, clean up the rest of my edges. This is somebody else's work. I need to go and rip that out, replace the bottom piece here, and then I will go and start test fitting my quarter to everything. Once that's all good, we go ahead, do any final adjustment, put the trunk back on. Make sure your gap is still good on this side, man. Don't forget to do that if you're building one of these cars. You know, it sucks to put all the time in for one little slip up, and now you're putting a lot more time in. Okay? So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm going to do today. And hopefully I can make another small video with the quarter panel on, not welded, but on, test fit where it needs to be. I can show you, and then I'm going to pull it back off, and I'm going to go ahead and sand all this down, weld it in. After I do my weld through primer in between any spot where I am welding with the new and old panels, then I'm going to go ahead and put a texture all over this just to help it. It's just a SEM texture spray, a chip guard. It's clear. It's just going to add for a little extra protection. That's all. And we'll see what we can do. We're still in the quarantine. Quarantined. 2020, baby. Well, that's some crazy times we're in, though, I'll tell you that. I'm thankful that I have some work still in the shop, and you know, for anybody out there that's that's struggling during this time, man, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that could use some help. And we love you. We love you. Stay strong. Stay safe. Stay healthy.